Today, I want to talk about the difficult things that leaders sometimes avoid. Said differently, what are you not leading into? Let's start with the fact that loyalty isn't leadership when it's protecting the wrong people at the cost of the right people. Respecting relationships isn't always protecting your mission. So oftentimes when I am working with, I don't care if it's a VP in corporate or a business owner, you need to redesign your structure to create efficiency and effectiveness. And in some cases, separate two individuals who both contribute to the organization, but they may not, in fact, be adding the value you want them to add because they are positioned side by side. And it's actually impacting the morale of the people around them. So it's not always about eliminating the individuals. Sometimes it's about changing their roles and responsibilities or about physically, geographically within the office, separating them. So I challenge you, are you truly looking at how best your team can work together and making the right decisions? Or are you sitting back and not making even the smallest of changes because you're afraid that, as I have a client who likes to say, you might be moving someone's cheese just a little too much and might make them upset. And worst case scenario, they might choose to leave in your mind. But it's so funny, as I talk to so many HR people, we have all found that that worst case scenario usually turns out to be the best case scenario. Often what happens is that worst case scenario thinking is allowed to run the show, and leaders delay action due to that worst case scenario thinking, when in reality, the worst case scenario thinking is actually creating irreversible damage as you sit and allow things to just continue to operate the way they are currently operating. Imagine the cost of doing nothing. Can you objectively look at that cost of doing nothing and then decide, do you worry about the worst case scenario, or do you plan for the worst case scenario and take steps to achieve what you know you really need to achieve and have yourself covered in case of that worst case scenario thinking does actually transpire? But with most of the HR people I've spoken to, that's usually not even 50% of the time. So think about that. Fear is usually the underlying cause of not moving forward. And I challenge you to say, are you in analysis paralysis? Are you having multiple different conversations? Are you reiterating your plan, not one time, not two times, not three times, but are you on version 10, 11, or 12? How can you own that you're actually sitting in fear and not owning the fact that you need to choose the path that you want to go forward? You need to plan against all of those fears that you have. I'm not saying the fears aren't valid, but to own those fears and to have plan A, plan B, plan C, and have the subject matter experts that you may need to help you get over this hurdle lined up to support you. They may be contractors, management consultants, coaches, a fractional CFO, a fractional HR person, your HR partner if you're inside an organization. Whatever that subject matter expert is that you need to make sure that you not only have your worst case scenario planned out, but you have the support to execute in case of that. And you also have a safe place to have conversations of what happens between best case scenario and worst case scenario. Okay, now I want to talk about another aspect of this. If your version of compassion avoids discomfort, it's not really compassion. Let's call it what it is. It's avoidance. And we're going back to where I started. If you avoid doing what you know needs to be done, you're going to stay in the status quo operationally and in the near term. But what is it costing you and your organization in the long term? Are you creating an environment where people don't feel like they can come forward and speak or have their authentic voice? Are you creating cliques within the organization? Are you allowing for the loudest person or potentially the person that you know shouldn't be in the organization anymore to be the most influential person in your organization? And what is the actual cost to you to do that? Said differently, what is your opportunity cost to not take action for what it is you know you need to do to have a self-autonomous team that can have impact, achieve what your mission and or goals are in a collaborative, engaging, motivational, family type environment. And by family, it doesn't mean that everyone needs to like each other and go out after work, but that they genuinely care about each other within the office. And lastly, I'd like to talk about refusing to hear and accept feedback on communications. We don't all get it right the first time. You might plan to do this in the least disruptive way possible, whatever the changes that you're going to do. And you're going to talk to your top performers off to the side and bring them up to speed. You may take a pulse with different people throughout the organization as you're getting ready to make your formal announcement and to move things forward. You're not there to be necessarily liked by everyone. And I have written many blogs about it's not necessarily about being liked or right. It's about doing the right thing for the organization to drive the goal of the organization, your goal, whatever that mission might be. Is it for growth? Is it for harmony? Is it to be able to start to step out of leading that team full time so you can take on a new initiative? Is it about potentially getting ready to exit an organization, in which case things will need to change and you need to own those hard decisions? So again, leadership isn't about sounding perfect. It's about being understood. It's about being clear.